finally we're in here.
We are going up to 54th floor, and then you will have a 30 minutes tour. Hope you enjoy it.
It's as good as it gets in Toronto. Pardon? I guess the newer buildings. Yeah, they're definitely not changing.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay.
Welcome. Thanks for your patience. How are the lines down there?
Long.
So yeah, this is an architectural masterpiece I'll take you through. What was most spectacular was the view. Follow me along this way. Our first station.
All the way to the left.
Oh, is that this way, Bruce?
Stop number one.
Take a look at this view. We've been blessed with another spectacular day of sunshine, so you can really appreciate just how far those views extend. My name is Amy Korchinski, and I'm the manager of corporate heritage and the archivist for TD Bank Group. So I steward the bank's material history, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the context of this remarkable project, TD Centre. The 54th floor appears almost exactly today as it did when the buildings opened in 1968. TD's made a massive investment to maintain its heritage. The one exception is the Lambert Room that you're about to see next. It's empty pretty much of furniture right now just because this is an active event space during the week for meetings, and they're always moving the furniture around to accommodate those. Unlike major US cities, Toronto did not get a high-rise modern office tower until relatively late. The first of the original pair of black steel and glass towers at King and Bay Streets opened in 1968. The project was one of the last that architect Mies van der Rohe designed before his death. It is the largest intact complex of his design in the world, and therefore a site of global heritage and interest among fans of design and architecture. With TD Centre, like every one of his projects, Mies paid attention to the small things. It's filled with countless small details that make it special and give the floor an air of prestige and importance. He was involved in floor plans, the selection of materials for the interior, including even the design of the furniture, and the exact, he went so far as to suggest the exact masterworks of European art that he thought were of suitable importance to be displayed in this space, and you'll find out from my colleague Maria in due course what the bank's response to that request was. Toronto Dominion Bank dates back to the founding of the Bank of Toronto in 1855. That was just over on Church Street across from St. James Cathedral. So we've always been the only bank to have always been headquartered in Toronto, because of course the other major financial institutions were headquartered in Montreal and Halifax at their concessions. The Dominion Bank came next in 1870, and then in 1955 those two entities merged. And soon after, the team needed a new building to accommodate its growing staff and range of services. In the early 1960s, TD President Alan Lambert sought an innovative approach for developing the area. He visualized a modern complex that would inject new life into the downtown core and lead the way for further redevelopment. With this in mind, TD partnered with Kemp Investments in a joint venture to build the Toronto Dominion Centre, and they looked for a consulting architect with the necessary vision to make the centre a focus of national and even international attention. They considered innovation and design to be crucial to the success of Toronto's most ambitious high-rise project to date. They turned to Mies van der Rohe, now widely acknowledged as one of the greatest architects of the 20th century, whose minimalist philosophy had guided pioneering designs for legendary buildings such as the Barcelona Pavilion in Spain, 1929, and the Seagram Building in New York City, which opened in 1958. In TD Centre, Mies had the opportunity to set the buildings back from the streets and place them on a landscaped plaza, a rare open space in the heart of the busy city, and he seamlessly linked together the towers through their transparent open bases. Mies died in August 1969, and since then 3 additional towers have been added to the site in the same style. In 2003, the City of Toronto designated the original 2 towers and banking pavilion under the Ontario Heritage Act, naming them an outstanding example of the international style of architecture and a landmark of the modern movement in Canada that set the standard for urban development in the city. So we're here in the Thompson Room, which is named for Richard Murray Thompson, one of our past presidents. Mr. Thompson was the right-hand man to Mr. Lambert throughout the 1960s until he himself assumed the role of president. He was the day-to-day manager of the construction project of the TD Centre, so the main conduit of information between these architectural offices in Chicago, Camp Investments, which was based in Montreal, Fairview as the developer, and the bank itself. So this room is named in his honor. He incidentally went on to become the youngest president of the history of Canadian banking when he assumed the top office at the age of 38 in 1972. He's still living, Mr. Thompson. Does anybody have one question? Not to limit you, but I'm on a very short leash today. I could talk for a long time. Well, thank you very, very much for visiting. I hope you enjoy the rest of your tour. There's a lot more to see.
Thank you. Thank you. Columbia Station number 2.
How old is this building?
1968.
Oh, wow.
1967 it was done, but they didn't have an official splashy opening until 1968.
You're the owner of this place, right? Complex.
No, Cadillac Fairview. So TD exited the buildings. We don't have an investment in the buildings anymore. Cadillac Fairview is the owner.
If you look down, stop. You can probably see it. So welcome everybody. How's the tour going? Good. Big lineup? Yes. Oh, sorry. My name is Dora. I'm an architect and I work for Cadillac Fairview, who own the Toronto Dominion Centre. So I'm going to speak to you a little bit about what it takes to look after the complex, because you're getting lots of historical context in your other talks on the floor. So in 2009, Cadillac Fairview realized that they had a great problem. A tenant from 77 King was vacating 17 floors, but they were moving to another one of our towers, so good as that is. But it really kickstarted the revitalization of it because there were all of these shiny new buildings coming up at the site of the South Financial Core, and we have this aging asset of how do you stay competitive in an incredibly aggressive market. The revitalization project for these 2 towers involved reglazing, repainting, and a plaza restoration. Now, when you have 17 empty floors, it is really easy to work on those floors because you don't have to worry about any people. All of the rest of the floors were occupied. So that meant if you had a space near the windows, you had to pack up your belongings. At 5 o'clock at night, the crews would come, they move any furniture and belongings in 5 feet. There'd be 2 people out on a swing stage, and they'd have, on a typical floor, basically they'd switch out 16 units a night, right? Now, you know, furniture, window coverings, computers, personal belongings, like all of these things had to be coordinated. It was a real puzzle. Then they would move you back into place so that when you came back the next morning, you could go back to work. Things sometimes if they had to cut at bulkheads, like in here they would cut at bulkheads probably. That kind of patching and painting repair would be done over the course of, you know, the following couple of weeks type of thing. On this floor, they would have fewer units done per shift because these are taller units. This floor and the floor above us are 10 feet. All of them, unfortunately, 9 feet. The other thing that happened was repainting of the towers. We can only repaint for temperatures above 10 degrees. So 77 paint is 4 years to paint, 66 normal paint is 6 years. People on swing stages outside, hand grinding with hand tools, trying to take off as much of the existing system as possible. And then they would use the gray primer and the black finish coats. Very deliberate, because literally our Chicago consultants would say, do this is stop. Not only for aesthetics, but the paint is part of the protective system for the metal, right? So that if you get rust, you have to deal with it. When you're, they're heavy. I'll pull it up.
You're welcome to sit at the chairs. They're really heavy though, just fair warning.
Please sit in the room. Enjoying the architecturally significant chairs.
This is in the details. A little bit dramatic, but he was very keen on perfection. So let's start with the biggest detail, elephant in the room, this gorgeous table. It's made out of English brown oak, as are the wall panels. And that wood was all taken from the same. Hello. Welcome everyone. Hope you're enjoying your time on the floor. My name is Maria. I'm the Collections Associate with TD Bank's Corporate Art Collection. So we'll be talking a little bit about the pieces on the floor today and a little bit about the collection more broadly. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just interrupt me anytime. TD started collecting with Ernest in 1962. Very invested and interested in the interior furnishings of the building, but also in the artwork that was going to go there. So he really encouraged Alan to start collecting art. And in fact, we have correspondence from Mises' office to Alan Landlord telling him exactly what pieces he thinks would be great in the building, including Pablo Picasso, Mondrian, Giacometti, and all the prices of the time then, which is kind of really fascinating to see. So while Alan really agreed with Mises that he should start collecting contemporary art more earnestly, he also believed that it should be local art.
Thank you for coming.
I can choose which one I want.
Yeah.
I'm going this one.
There's no secrets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this one's faster.
Or is it natural right people always go to the right? So that's why you should always go left, just because everybody left people. I think that's what they generally say, like when you're traveling. Just go left, because everybody's going right. And I think that's a rule, like also in retail merchandise, like always put stuff in the right place. Too much evidence. That's why this is like hitting me, because they've got very little like toast. That's the elevator. I'm not shaking externally. I'm shaking like internally.
On the left side? The wings on the left side?
I'm glad I made it in. This is the second attempt. I got to see this.
Yesterday, right?
Yesterday, all my ups.
Yeah.
Can I see this?
Yep.
This is. It's pretty quick because we're gonna have to get out now. That's it.